Lynn Norley of Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, has a very special relationship with Rupert, her African gray parrot.
There's definitely something magical about this bird. I mean, the bird just interacts with everyone in such a way that's so touching. He's just fantastic with his affection and his rapport and how he absolutely knows what's going on around him.
Lynn acquired Rupert as a baby 12 years ago. Since then, the parrot has become a central part of her life. In fact, she literally wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for Rupert. It all began in February of 1998, when Lynn put Rupert in his cage for the night and went to bed herself. What she didn't know was that in just a few hours, she would wake to a living nightmare.
I was lying there and I heard a very loud thud. Rupert fell off of his perch. And then I heard Rupert squawking very loudly, and it was definitely an alarm sound. I mean, there wasn't any doubt in my mind that there was a problem.
She went to investigate, but got no further than the bedroom door.
I was faced with a wall of smoke that was horrible smelling, and I couldn't see.
She knew that Rupert was in danger, and not thinking of the consequences, she rushed to his rescue.
When I got to the cage, I was extremely panicked, and I was sure that Rupert wouldn't make it, because parrots can take only a little bit of smoke. I couldn't find the door of the cage because I couldn't see, and I couldn't get a breath either. But somehow I fumbled and found the cage, and I grabbed Rupert out of the bottom.
Lynn rushed outside for air before returning for her dogs, who were still trapped in the fire. She took a deep breath, tucked Rupert under her arm, and ran back into the smoke-filled house. The dogs were frantic, and in the middle of all the chaos, Lynn felt Rupert go lifeless in her arms.
Oh, Rupert, no! I was sure that Rupert had died. I felt horrible because Rupert was such a part of my life for so long, and couldn't just drop Rupert on the floor, so I wrapped Rupert in a bathrobe and gave him the only burial I could at the moment. I put him in the bottom of the shower stall.
Lynn could hear the flames crackling in the hallway outside the door. She put a wet shirt over her face, grabbed her dogs, and tried to make a run for it.
I put Alex under my arm and grabbed Panther by the collar and planned on going out the bedroom door. But when I opened the door of the bedroom, I was hit with a wall of smoke and an explosion. And I realized then that the house was bursting into flames. And I knew I had to escape by one of the windows of my second-story bedroom.
Lynn and the dogs dropped safely to the ground, leaving the house in flames. Firefighters doused the fire, but only after the inside had been totally gutted.
It was terrifying and it was horrible, and I was watching my house exploding and the smoke coming out of the roof.
The next morning, with the support of friends, Lynn returned home to see the devastation the fire had caused. The building was still standing, but there was little left of its charred interior. For Lynn, the greatest loss was Rupert.
It seemed that nothing of the house could possibly survive. The windows were all blown out. In order to fight the fire, the firefighters throw everything out the windows, so my grandmother's things and my paintings and all that, but they really didn't matter. I mean, really, truly. The only thing I feel bad about is the bird.
Lynn didn't have the heart to go into the bathroom, so her friend Lori Moore went in to remove the dead bird. After firefighters had doused the blaze, blackened debris had filled the shower. Lori pulled away the remains of crumbled walls.
I started rummaging through the tile and the plaster and the fiberglass, moved some of it away and found Rupert plastered up in the corner looking at me. Rupert! Very surprised. Both of us were very surprised looking at each other, and I reached down to pick him up and he bit me. Ow! Lynn, Rupert's alive! Come in here quick!
When I heard her scream, I couldn't believe my ears. So I ran into the bathroom, and there Rupert was, sitting in the corner of the shower stall on top of the pile of debris. He was shaking and looked horrible. It was really a miracle. I mean, no one could believe the bird was alive.
Today, Lynn and Rupert are living happily together in a new home. Lynn owes her life to her pet bird. It was Rupert's warning calls that saved her from the fire. But what saved Rupert?
I don't know how the bird's alive. It's a miracle that this bird lived through that. I mean, it's totally astounding because everything that Rupert inhaled and everything that happened to Rupert, even a small part of any one thing that happened to any bird, the bird would never have had a chance to live. And everything that happened to Rupert with such intensity, it was just really a miracle.